It's 11:48 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Fireworks paint the sky, strangers hug strangers, and the world feels electric with hope. But in a desert just outside Los Angeles, a red Kia Soul rolls to a stop. The driver's door creaks open, and 23-year-old Valerie Zavala-Wilson steps out into the cold, dark silence. 12 minutes later, the clock strikes midnight. Valerie is gone. What happened in those final moments? A $200 robbery? A betrayal? Or something far more sinister? This isn't just a murder, it's a countdown to horror and a fight for answers that still isn't over. New Year's Eve, a night synonymous with glittering countdowns and resolutions whispered under confetti skies. But in the desert outskirts of California's Antelope Valley, December 31st, 2019, played out like a twisted paradox. While the world clinked champagne flutes and cheered, 23-year-old Valerie Zavala-Wilson climbed into her red Kia Soul and drove toward a darkness no one saw coming. Her night began with laughter among friends. It ended with a single unanswered text. "I'll be back soon." By midnight, Valerie was gone. No farewell kiss at the stroke of 12. No resolution for the new year. Just a car abandoned in the scrubland, its keys dangling in the ignition, and a family's joy shattered into 1,000 whys. This isn't just a story about a crime. It's about a celebration hijacked by horror. A young woman who stepped into the void between hope and hell. And a mystery where the only witness is the desert itself. Before the headlines, the vigils, and the whispers of what if, there was simply Valerie, a girl who danced barefoot in the rain, a sister who'd steal fries from her brother's plate just to make him laugh, a friend who'd stay up until 3 a.m. giving pep talks about life, love, and bad haircuts. Valerie Zavala-Wilson wasn't just a name in a true crime documentary. She was alive. Born and raised in California's Antelope Valley, Valerie grew up chasing desert sunsets and dreaming big. Her family called her their wildflower. Tough enough to thrive in harsh soil, but bursting with color. She loved road trips with no destination, thrifted denim jackets, and playlist making for every mood. But her biggest passion? Beauty. Not the superficial kind, but the art of it. She'd light up explaining how makeup wasn't about hiding flaws, it was about reinvention. "You can be whoever you want today," she'd tell friends while perfecting their winged eyeliner. In 2019, she took a leap and enrolled in cosmetology school, juggling shifts at a pizza joint to pay her tuition. Her Instagram was a scrapbook of bold looks she'd created. Neon eyeshadow, gemstone freckles, hair dyed sunset orange. "Someday I'll have my own salon," she wrote in her journal. Somewhere people feel like the best version of themselves. But on December 31st, that someday vanished. The free spirit who believed in second chances and fresh starts became a statistic. A case number, a body in the dirt. Yet to those who loved her, Valerie remains more than a victim. She's the unfinished playlist, the half-empty bottle of her favorite strawberry perfume, the dreams that didn't die with her because they never got to live. Let's rewind. December 31st, 2019. Palmdale, California. The sun dips below the desert hills, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple. For Valerie, the night starts ordinary. Too ordinary. She's 23, restless, and itching to kick off the new year. No elaborate parties, no VIP lists, just a small get-together at a friend's apartment. The kind of night where you wear jeans instead of sequins, where the music stays low enough to hear the laughter. Valerie arrives around 8 p.m. The air smells like pizza and coconut vape smoke. A handful of friends are there, people she's known for years. Her boyfriend, too. They're sprawled on couches, swapping stories about resolutions. "Valerie's? Stop overplucking my eyebrows," she jokes, flipping her dark hair. Someone snaps a photo of her mid-laugh, cheeks flushed, eyes crinkled. It's the last picture she'll ever take. For hours, it's easy. Just another night. They play cards against humanity. Someone cues up a playlist of early 2000s throwbacks. Valerie dances badly to "Yeah" by Usher, mocking her own moves. But around 9:45 p.m., her phone buzzes. She glances at the screen. Her smile fades. "I gotta run out for a sec," she tells her boyfriend. No urgency. No fear. Just a shrug. "Be back before midnight." He asks where she's going. "It's nothing," she says. "Just helping someone out." A vague answer. A peck on the cheek. And then she's gone. Outside, the desert air bites. Valerie zips her hoodie, climbs into her red Kia Soul, and cranks the heat. The clock glows 9:52 p.m. She pulls out of the parking lot, turns onto Avenue S, and drives east away from the streetlights deeper into the void. The road narrows. Houses thin out. Soon, it's just her headlights cutting through the black. What was she thinking in those final minutes? Was she humming along to the radio? Stressing about cosmetology homework? Or did her gut twist as the shadows swallowed her car? We'll never know. Back at the apartment, her boyfriend waits. 10:15 p.m. No Valerie. He texts. You good? No reply. 10:30 p.m. He calls. Straight to voicemail. The room feels colder now. Friends try to shrug it off. She'll be back, someone says. Val's always doing her own thing. But midnight comes. Fireworks erupt. Strangers cheer. The group counts down without her. 3, 2, 1. Their voices flat. No one says it aloud, but the dread is thick. Where is she? 1 a.m. Her brother starts blowing up her phone. 2 a.m. Her mom leaves a frantic voicemail. Baby, call me. Please. 3 a.m. They're pacing, Googling, calling hospitals. By 4 a.m., her boyfriend drives the route she'd taken. His high beams sweep empty roads. Nothing. Sunrise stains the sky peach and gray. Valerie's family gathers at her mom's house. They're clutching coffee mugs, staring at their phones, jumping at every car that passes. Her younger sister keeps replaying their last conversation. 2 days prior, Valerie had promised to teach her how to contour. You're gonna slay, she'd said. Then a call. The police. Valerie's car has been found, abandoned in a desolate patch of desert off Avenue S. The driver's door is slightly ajar. The keys dangle in the ignition. Her phone sits on the passenger seat, dead. No blood. No note. No Valerie. Her brother races to the scene. He's the first to arrive, squinting under the glare of the midday sun. He touches the hood of her Kia, still warm, as if she'd just stepped away. He screams her name into the emptiness. The desert doesn't answer. By nightfall, search teams comb the area with flashlights and dogs. Helicopters buzz overhead, beams slicing the dark. Volunteers shout her name, their voices swallowed by the wind. Each hour, hope erodes. Her mother collapses in the dirt, clutching Valerie's scarf left in the car. It smells like her strawberry perfume. This is where the nightmare begins. Not with a scream, but with silence. Not with a struggle, but with a disappearance so clean, so quiet. It feels like the desert itself swallowed her whole. A girl who loved neon makeup and bad puns. A sister who borrowed clothes without asking. A daughter who forgot to text, I'm okay. The last night plays on a loop for those who loved her. The ordinary moments turned sacred. Her eye roll at a cheesy joke, the way she stacked 3 pizza crusts on her plate, the sound of her car pulling away. I'll be back soon, but Valerie never came back. And the question hangs, sharp as a knife. What happened in the 12 minutes between her leaving that apartment and vanishing forever? New Year's Day. For most, it's a morning of aspirin and half-hearted gym promises. But for Valerie's family, January 1st, 2020, arrived with a suffocating dread. She hadn't come home. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Texts lingered unread. By noon, her brother filed a missing persons report. She wouldn't just leave, he insisted to police. But the desert is vast, and people vanish here more often than you'd think. Then a lead. Around 2 p.m., a highway patrol officer spots a red Kia Soul parked crookedly off Avenue S, a desolate stretch of road where coyotes outnumber streetlights. The car's hood is cold. Dust coats the windshield. Inside, Valerie's purse sits on the passenger seat. Wallet intact, cash untouched. Her phone, dead and discarded, shows no recent calls. The keys dangle in the ignition, as if she'd stepped out for a breath of air and never returned. Her family rushes to the scene. Her mother presses Valerie's scarf to her face, breathing in the fading scent of strawberry perfume. Her brother paces, kicking rocks, muttering, "This isn't right." The police tape off the area, but there's nothing to find. No footprints, no struggle, no note. Just silence. Search teams mobilize fast. Volunteers in neon vests walk shoulder to shoulder, scanning the scrubland. Drones buzz overhead, cameras pointed at the cracked earth. Bloodhounds sniff Valerie's hairbrush, then strain their leashes, leading handlers into the brush. The desert is unforgiving, a maze of ditches, thorny plants, and sinkholes. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, a deputy admits. But her family refuses to quit. They pass out flyers at gas stations, her smiling face plastered on lampposts. "Have you seen me?" the posters ask. Days bleed together. Day 2, a volunteer finds a single sneaker print, too small to be Valerie's. Day 3, a helicopter spots a torn shred of fabric. It's blue like her hoodie. Her mother collapses when they show it to her. That's hers, she whimpers. But it's a false lead, just trash caught on a cactus. Day 4, rain washes the desert clean, erasing any traces. Rumors ignite. Online sleuths dissect Valerie's Instagram, speculating about ex-boyfriends or drug deals. Her friends rage at the accusations. She didn't even drink, one snaps to a reporter. Meanwhile, detectives chase shadows. They ping cell towers, interview acquaintances, retrace her last route. But the desert keeps its secrets. Then, January 8th, a hiker, a retired teacher out walking his dog, stumbles into a nightmare. Near a cluster of Joshua trees, 2 miles from where Valerie's car was found, the dirt looks disturbed, freshly turned. Scattered rocks form a haphazard mound. The dog whines, pawing at the earth. The man kneels, brushes aside the soil, and freezes. A hand, pale, curled, nails still painted glittery gold. Police descend like vultures. They unearth her body, careful not to erase evidence. Valerie lies in a shallow grave, barely covered. Her face is unrecognizable, bloated, bruised. But her family knows it's her by the butterfly tattoo on her wrist, the one she got at 18 after her grandmother's death. It's her brother chokes, collapsing to his knees. The coroner's report is brutal, multiple gunshot wounds. A execution-style killing. For what? Her phone? The $200 in her wallet? The news spreads like poison. Vigils erupt. Strangers leave stuffed animals and candles at the site. Her cosmetology school hangs her photo in the lobby, a bright smile beside an empty chair. But for her mother, Yolanda, the world narrows to a single question. Who did this? She stares at Valerie's ashes in a rose gold urn, whispering, "I'm sorry I couldn't protect you." The police stay tight-lipped. No suspects. No motive. Just whispers of gang ties or wrong place, wrong time. But Valerie's loved ones reject it all. She was loved, her best friend sobs in an interview. Someone out there knows something. Weeks pass. Months. The case grows cold. Tips trickle in, a man at a gas station acting shifty. A rumor of a stolen gun, but none stick. Her family hires private investigators. They beg for TV coverage. They even consult a psychic who claims Valerie senses water, and a man in a baseball cap. Desperation blurs into delirium. Then a break, or so it seems. In March 2020, detectives arrest a local felon with a history of carjackings. His phone places him near Avenue S that night. For a moment, hope flickers. But his alibi holds. Security footage shows him buying beer miles away. The lead dies. Years crawl by. Valerie's case file gathers dust. Her mother sleeps with her daughter's hoodie clutched to her chest. Her brother visits the grave weekly, blasting her favorite playlist, Lizzo, Billie Eilish, Old School Eminem, so she won't be lonely. Friends mark every birthday with strawberry cupcakes, her favorite. They laugh through tears, telling stories she'll never hear. Then, 2023, a knock on Yolanda's door. 2 detectives, faces grim. "We've made arrests," they say. 2 men, a 22-year-old from Palmdale and his uncle. Their motive? Robbery. They'd lured Valerie out that night, promising to buy her car. Instead, they took $200 and her life. The trial looms. Valerie's family braces for fresh wounds, crime scene photos, autopsy details, the accused smirks. "I just want to look them in the eye," Yolanda says. Ask them why. But even now, the desert withholds answers. Why her? Why there? Why leave her phone, her car, her life behind? The search for Valerie ended in a grave. But the search for justice? It's still just beginning. Valerie's body was found, but the nightmare was far from over. Now came the questions, hundreds of them, twisting into a labyrinth no one could navigate. Why was her car abandoned here, but her body dumped there? 2 miles apart, a 12-minute walk through jagged desert. Had someone moved her? Had she tried to run? And why leave her phone behind, yet take? What? Her wallet had cash. Her jewelry remained. Nothing made sense. Detectives began stitching together fragments. First, the timeline. Valerie left her friend's apartment at 9:45 p.m. By 10 p.m., her phone stopped transmitting data. Her car was found 15 miles east, a 20-minute drive. But security cameras along the route captured nothing. No red Kia Soul. No headlights. As if she'd vanished into a void. Then the rumors. Small towns breed speculation like weeds. A cashier at a gas station claimed Valerie bought cigarettes that night. She seemed nervous. She didn't smoke. A neighbor reported suspicious cars circling the area. They were lost tourists. The loudest theory? Drugs. Anonymous online commenters insisted she owed money, met a dealer, and things went south. but her friends lashed out. Valerie didn't even take Advil. The truth was colder. Forensic evidence cut through the noise. Bullet fragments recovered from her body matched a .22 caliber pistol, a weapon often used in executions. She'd been shot 3 times, once in the chest, twice in the back. A rush job, a panic kill. But robbery? Her $200 was gone, but her car, phone, and designer sneakers stayed. Why risk murder for pocket change? Detectives turned to her inner circle. They subpoenaed phone records, dissected texts, mapped her final days. A name surfaced: Raymond, a 22-year-old from Palmdale. Valerie's boyfriend admitted she'd mentioned him weeks earlier. He wanted to buy her car. A red flag? Maybe. But Valerie had laughed it off. Dude lowballed me. I told him to kick rocks. Then a break. Raymond's uncle, 41-year-old Albert, owned a .22 pistol. Ballistics matched the bullets in Valerie's body. But why would 2 men she barely knew want her dead? The answer was almost too stupid to believe. Greed. Desperation. A $200 fix. Here's what police pieced together. On December 31st, Raymond texted Valerie, offering to buy her Kia Soul. Got cash tonight. She agreed to meet, likely thinking she'd flip his low offer into a joke. But when she arrived at the deserted stretch of Avenue S, Raymond and Albert were waiting. No negotiation. No car sale. Just a gun, a demand for money, and a trigger pulled 3 times. But the plot had holes. Why choose Valerie? She wasn't wealthy. Was it random? Or had they targeted her, knowing she'd be alone on a holiday? And why bury her so close to the car? Amateurs, a detective later said. They thought the desert would hide everything. For 3 years, the case stalled. Raymond and Albert stayed silent, blending into Palmdale's sprawl. Detectives lacked proof until a jailhouse snitch came forward. Albert's cellmate claimed he'd bragged about taking care of a problem in the desert. Then, forensics re-examined Valerie's nails. Skin cells. DNA. A match to Raymond. In 2023, warrants were signed. SWAT teams stormed 2 homes at dawn. Raymond, now 25, was arrested in boxers, screaming, "I didn't do it." Albert, greasy-haired and smirking, cursed at cops as they cuffed him. The motive, when revealed, felt like a slap. $200. The price of a PlayStation game. A week's groceries. A pair of concert tickets. That's what Valerie's life was worth to them. Her family raged. She'd have given them the money if they'd just asked, her brother said. But the men didn't ask. They took. Then they silenced her. But mysteries linger. Who dug the grave? Why not drive her body farther? And how did 2 men, one barely out of his teens, keep this secret for years? Rumors whisper of a 3rd accomplice, a girlfriend who helped clean the car. But without evidence, it's just noise. In court, Raymond and Albert plead not guilty. Their lawyers spin tales of mistaken identity, shoddy forensics, reasonable doubt. But Valerie's family sits in the front row, clutching photos of her alive, laughing in a salon chair, making a peace sign at the camera. A face the jury won't forget. The desert holds its secrets, but not forever. Sand shifts, bones surface, and sometimes justice comes slow, stubborn, and piece by piece. For Valerie, it's 3 years too late, but it's coming. 3 years, 1,095 days, 26,280 hours. That's how long Valerie's family waited for someone to say 2 words. Arrests made. But justice delayed isn't just denied, it's a slow bleed. A wound that never scabs. A mother who wears her daughter's ashes in a heart-shaped pendant because letting go feels like betrayal. This isn't a chapter about closure. It's about surviving the limbo between grief and answers. Yolanda, Valerie's mother, marks time in rituals. Every morning, she touches the pendant and whispers, "Good morning, baby." She sets a plate for Valerie at Christmas, leaves her bedroom door cracked just in case. At night, she replays voicemails, Valerie's voice teasing, "Hey Ma, pick up. I need your lasagna recipe." Her husband begs her to see a therapist. She refuses. "What if I forget her laugh?" she says. Meanwhile, the legal machine grinds. 2021, detectives assure the family, "We're close." 2022, evidence sits in a backlogged lab. 2023, a knock on the door. "We've got them." 2 names, Raymond Acosta, 22, and his uncle Albert. Charges, first-degree murder. Yolanda collapses, sobbing into her hands. "Why'd it take so long?" she screams. No one answers. The trial is a minefield. Each court date forces the family to relive December 31st. Crime scene photos flash on screens. Valerie's glitter nail polish chipped, her favorite hoodie crusted with dirt. Yolanda flees the courtroom, gagging. Her son stays, jaw clenched, scribbling notes like a soldier mapping battle lines. "I need to know," he says. "Every detail." But details are scarce. The suspects plead not guilty. Their lawyers blame shoddy police work, tainted evidence, rush to judgment. Raymond's mother tells reporters, "My boy's innocent," from her porch strewn with empty beer cans. Albert smirks during hearings, doodling on legal pads. The family watches, hollow-eyed. "They're monsters," Valerie's brother says. But the law treats them like men. The delays pile up. A juror gets COVID. A witness vanishes. A judge retires. Each postponement feels like a punch. Yolanda's pendant grows heavier. She starts attending strangers' trials, sitting in the back, studying how other mothers survive. "Do they know it never ends?" she asks a bailiff. He looks away. The community fractures. Online, armchair detectives dissect the case. The uncle did it alone. There's a third killer. While Valerie's friends beg, "Stop turning her into a meme." At the local diner, old men grumble about broken systems between coffee refills. Teens spray paint justice for Val. On overpasses, their letters jagged with rage. But the loudest silence comes from those who know. Rumors swirl of a girlfriend who helped clean blood from Raymond's car, a cousin who loaned the shovel, a friend who heard whispers at a party and stayed quiet. "People in this town are scared," a local bartender admits. Snitches get ditches in the desert. Yolanda's new ritual? Writing letters to the DA. "Do you have children?" she scrawls in shaky cursive. "What if it was your daughter in that grave?" She mails them weekly. No replies. In rare moments of quiet, she allows herself to imagine the after. If there's a conviction, if she finally hears guilty, will it feel like victory? Relief? Or just another kind of emptiness? Her daughter's ashes will still weigh 4 pounds. The pendant will still hang cold against her chest. The answer to why Valerie will still echo unanswered. Yet she keeps fighting. For the mother in the next town whose daughter is missing. For the 23-year-old starting cosmetology school who texts her mom, "I'm safe," every night. For the idea that justice, even delayed, might someday be a verb, not a myth. 3 years, 1,095 days, 26,280 hours. And counting. After the headlines fade and the courtroom empties, what remains of a life stolen? For Valerie Zavala-Wilson, it's not the horror of her final moments. It's the light she left behind. This isn't a story that ends in a grave. It's one that lives in the hands of a teenager holding a makeup brush for the first time, in the whispers of mothers at vigils, and in the defiant flicker of a candle lit on the darkest night of the year. Valerie's legacy isn't about death. It's about the fight to make life matter. The scholarship. 3 months after Valerie's murder, her cosmetology school received an unusual package. Inside, her makeup kit, brushes still flecked with glitter, lipsticks worn down to nubs, a sticky note on her favorite eyeshadow palette read, "For the next star." Her family turned that gesture into the Valerie V. Zavala-Wilson Memorial Scholarship. Every year, it helps a student from the Antelope Valley chase their beauty dreams. No essays, no GPA requirements. Just one question. What makes you feel unstoppable? The first recipient, Maria, was 19, Valerie's age when she enrolled. Maria's application was a Polaroid of her little sister, face painted like a butterfly. "I want to make kids feel magic," she wrote. When Maria graduated, she pinned Valerie's old name tag to her uniform. "It's like she's guiding me," she says. Now, Valerie's Instagram is a living scrapbook. Graduates tag her in posts, bridal makeup, avant-garde art, a cancer patient's first wig. "You'd love this, Val," they write. And you can almost hear her laugh in the comments. The Advocate. Yolanda wears 2 pendants now. One holds Valerie's ashes. The other, a button that reads "Silence equals death." She's become a storm in the victims' rights movement, attending city council meetings with folders full of faces. Other sons, daughters, mothers lost to unsolved crimes. "The system failed my girl," she tells lawmakers. "Don't fail theirs." In 2022, she lobbied for Valerie's law, requiring California counties to update families on cold cases every 90 days. When it passed, she didn't celebrate. She drove to Valerie's grave and read the bill aloud, her voice shaking. "It's not enough," she said, "but it's a start." Her latest mission? A community hotline for tips, staffed by survivors. "People trust those who've lived it," she says. The phone rings daily. A wife whose husband vanished on a hike. A brother searching for his sister's hit-and-run driver. Yolanda takes notes in Valerie's old journal. its pages filled with her daughter's doodles. She'd want this, she says. Helping was her thing. The vigil. Every December 31st, as the world prepares to toast new beginnings, Valerie's family gathers in the desert. They lug folding chairs, battery-powered lanterns, and a speaker blasting her playlist. Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams followed by Tupac's California Love. They laugh when her brother tries and fails to replicate her famous smoky eye. At 11:48 p.m., the time she left that party, they fall silent. A single candle is lit, its flame cupped in Yolanda's hands. One by one, they pass it, sharing memories. Remember when she gave the dog a rainbow dye job? That time she hacked Mom's Netflix to binge RuPaul's Drag Race. How she'd steal fries off everyone's plate, but still pay for your Starbucks. The candle sputters in the wind, but doesn't die. At midnight, fireworks erupt on the horizon. The family doesn't watch. They raise their candles instead, tiny lights defiant against the desert's infinite black. "We're still here," Yolanda whispers. "And so are you." The ripple. Valerie's story traveled farther than she ever did. A true crime podcast episode about her case spiked donations to the scholarship fund. A mural in downtown Palmdale paints her as a phoenix, wings splashed in her favorite neon pink. Strangers send her family letters, some confessing their own losses, others vowing to live like Valerie did, fearless. But the quietest legacy lives in her nephew, born 2 years after her death. He's 3 now, obsessed with stickers and dinosaurs. When he sees Valerie's photo, he points and says, "Auntie Angel." He doesn't know about graves or trials. He just knows her smile. Grief never ends, but neither does love. Valerie's light bends, refracts, finds cracks in the darkest places. It's in the courtroom when her mother stares down the men who took her daughter. It's in the desert wind that carries whispers of keep going. And it's in you right now hearing her name. Because stories like Valerie's aren't just warnings, they're blueprints for courage. They remind us that monsters don't get the last word. That a girl who loved glitter and hip-hop can, in death, teach the world how to shine. Valerie Zavala-Wilson's story is a wound that never closes. A reminder that life isn't a true crime plot. It's fragile, unscripted, and stolen in moments we never see coming. Her case isn't just a tragedy. It's a mirror, a reflection of every parent's nightmare, every sister's unanswered call, every what if that haunts the dark. But here's the truth. Monsters don't win when they pull a trigger. They win when we stop looking, when we shrug and say, some mysteries aren't meant to be solved, when we let silence bury the truth deeper than any grave. So this isn't just a closing, it's a demand. If you know anything, a rumor overheard at a gas station, a text message buried in guilt, a confession whispered drunk at 2 a.m., speak. Not for clout or cameras, for the mother who sleeps with an urn beside her bed, for the brother who still texts Valerie's old number, hoping somehow, somewhere she'll reply, for the next girl who climbs into her car on a starless night, trusting the world to let her come home. Justice isn't a ghost. It's a choice to pick up the phone, to dig up the truth, to say her name until the desert gives back what it stole. Valerie's light was snuffed out for $200 and a lie. But her story doesn't end here. It ends when someone, anyone, refuses to let the shadows keep their secrets. So ask yourself, what if it was your sister, your daughter, your best friend? What would you burn down to find the truth? Do it for Valerie. Do it for the ones still waiting. And do it for the fragile, furious hope that even in the bleakest night, justice is out there, walking the desert, listening, closing in, and coming for the monsters who think they got away.